In a lot of my videos, I have told you how important torque calculations are for a treadmill motor. And in those videos, I've said calculating the torque is super simple. You take the horsepower times 5252 and divide by the RPM listed on this label. But what do you do when they don't put RPM on the label? Well, there's still everything we need to figure out what the torque of this motor is.
Greetings, fellow DIYer, and welcome to my video.
I have not one, but two videos dedicated to treadmill motor torque. And in both of those videos, I explain why torque means everything with a treadmill motor, and horsepower means nothing. They are good videos. You probably should go watch them. For those of you that have not seen those videos, I'm about to go into a Cliff Notes presentation showing why, when it comes to a treadmill motor, torque means everything, horsepower means almost nothing, and you have to calculate torque. But if you've seen those videos, you're about to be bored for the next couple minutes. So I am going to put a timestamp right there that tells you how far to skip ahead to get to the spot that shows you how to calculate the torque if the RPM is not on the label. With both of those videos, I've had some people argue with me in the comments and say horsepower is the ability to do work. And if you have two motors with the exact same horsepower, then that's all that really matters. They can do the exact same work, and torque really doesn't matter. The thing that those people fail to realize is horsepower is a function of RPM. In other words, RPM is used in the calculation of horsepower. So if you have a motor that has a lot more RPM, the potential is there to have decent horsepower at those higher RPM. The problem is the faster you spin a motor, the more heat it's going to generate, and the faster it's going to wear out, because the brushes and the commuter inside the motor, all those parts are now turning faster and are going to wear faster. Also, those extra rotations and those higher speeds are going to be harder on the bearings. So this argument about gearing really is thin at best. Yes, technically they are correct. If I have two motors that both have the exact same horsepower, regardless of RPM range, technically I can gear them to function the same. But again, if that was the case, all motors would be small motors like this one and not big motors like you've seen in some of my other videos. So it is critically important that you realize that horsepower means very little in regards to the overall function of the motor. Not its ability to do 2 horsepower worth of work, but its overall function. Moreover, as I said before, horsepower is a function of RPM. Why do we do a treadmill motor? Because we want variable speed. And why do we want variable speed? Because we want to speed the motor up and slow the motor down at the turn of a knob. That means, by its very nature, as you turn that motor up, horsepower is going to go up. As you turn that motor down, horsepower will go down. I do encourage you to go back and look at those videos. They're good videos. Take some time, go watch them. But the ultimate takeaway in both of those videos is you need to calculate how much torque your treadmill motor has, and you need to calculate how much torque your AC motor that you're replacing has to see if it is a legitimate swap. If you are getting 1-to-1 where the AC motor has as much torque as the DC motor, or if it's a downgrade. I've had a lot of people contact me and say, yeah, I set up a treadmill motor, everybody said it was great, and it worked poorly. It bogged, it didn't run very well, it was just not a good setup, and I liked the AC motor a lot better. Well, you can't expect a huge AC motor that puts out tons of torque to be beaten by a dinky little DC motor that doesn't have an equal amount of torque. So that brings us back to calculating torque. Torque is quite simply horsepower times 5252 divided by RPM. And on most motors, that information is available. The AC motor that I took off of my lathe, I believe it had 0.75 horsepower and it was a 1700 RPM motor. You can go through, do the calculations, and you end up with a torque number. The DC motor that I ended up putting on my lathe is a 4000 RPM motor that is rated at 3 horsepower. And you would think that that would have way more power than the 3/4 horsepower AC motor. But when you do the math, you do the calculations, you see they are a whole lot closer. Yes, that DC motor that I did put on that lathe was an upgrade. It has more torque, and that's critically important to be able to use it at lower RPM. I digress. I keep going on, hammering home the importance of torque when upgrading or downgrading, depending on the motor you're using, to a DC treadmill motor. But what's important is we need to figure out, how do we tell how much torque a motor has when the RPM is not listed? Well, the good news is everything we need is still listed there on the tag. If you look at the specific tag that is on this motor, you will see that it says that it has 2.65 horsepower at 130 volts. Then you look a little further down and it says continuous horsepower. In other words, the horsepower that you want to run it at if you're going to run it continuously, not giving it a break, is 1.5 at 95 volts. Clearly, there is a difference in horsepower based on the voltage going into the motor. And that totally makes sense. Why? Because adding more voltage to a DC motor increases the speed. That is what happens when the voltage changes on a DC motor. If running 95 volts through this motor creates a certain amount of horsepower, and running 130 volts through this motor creates more horsepower, it's because horsepower is a function of RPM. We have increased the RPM and thereby increased the horsepower. So that makes figuring out the torque of this still very doable, but a few extra steps are required. All we have to do is put the voltage on the label of the treadmill motor to the treadmill motor, use a digital RPM meter to measure how fast this motor is turning, and then now we have the RPM that we need to calculate the torque. Now the challenge there is coming up with a way to produce the consistent voltage that you need for this test. Thankfully, I have a variable transformer that I can set at any voltage that I want between 0 and 130 volts. And that will allow me to use my multimeter to get the correct voltage coming out of this, and then put it to this to have that baseline for the measurement. Now, a couple things here. When you have voltage coming out of this and you test it with just a basic multimeter, it's going to read one number. As soon as you put a load to it, it's probably going to drop a little bit. And so typically you want to shoot just slightly above the voltage. The other thing is, this doesn't have to be an exact science. It is an exact science, and the voltage going in is very exact to the speed that comes out, and the speed that comes out is very exact to the horsepower rating. But for the purpose of figuring out the torque on your motor and knowing if it's big enough for your project, you've just got to get close. So what I'm going to do is we're going to hook this up to this bridge rectifier. We're going to dial it in, figure out exactly where we get the correct voltage of 95 or close to it. We'll note that on the dial on here because I don't want to just turn it to that voltage, plug everything in and flip it on. That's hard on the motor, that's hard on the transformer. That's really hard on this little bridge rectifier that I never ever recommend using for an actual install. It's great to use on the bench for a test, but it's never my first choice for any actual install. So by slowly bringing it up to speed, we reduce the risk of messing anything up, and that will allow us to get our measurement. So the first thing we have to do is figure out our voltage. All right, with the positive and negative hooked up to the rectifier, we are now going to turn on the transformer and slowly increase the voltage. As you can see, it's starting to come up now. Right now it's showing almost 20 on the dial, and we're only getting about 16 here. There is some inaccuracy in the markings here. Continue turning it up. If I take it up to right around 100, right here on the transformer, we are at 97.2, give or take. And keep in mind, when you put a load on it, that voltage is going to drop a little bit. So I think setting it up at 100 is going to get us close enough to the 95 volts that's on the label on this motor. And it will give us a good baseline for testing the RPM. So this is my digital RPM meter, and it comes with reflective tape that you can put on whatever's spinning, and that is what the light bounces off of to let you know what the RPM is. So I've got it all hooked up. We've got the transformer going to the bridge rectifier, going to the motor. I've turned the voltage down completely because, again, we don't want to just put all that voltage in at once to this motor. And now we're going to go ahead and turn it on. And we can start turning it up. We are headed to that 100 volt rating. Just now, when I used this meter, I got a measurement of right close to 10,000 RPM. And you could tell just by the sound it was making. It was screaming. A lot of these small motors like this are typically rated anywhere from 7,000 to 15,000 RPM. And why are they setting them up that way? Because they are trying to maximize horsepower. And the easiest way they can do it with a tiny little magnet and a tiny little motor is to pump up the RPM. So if we do the calculation, we take 1.5 times 5252, and then we divide it by 10,000. We get pretty close to 0.78 foot-pounds of torque. Now, I'm here to tell you this is a crappy motor. This is why this motor only ever sees life on my workbench. You've seen it in a lot of videos. It's easy to set up, it's small, it's compact, and it's great for doing testing on the bench. A medium quality treadmill motor has at least 2 foot-pounds of torque. A high quality treadmill motor has anywhere from 4 foot-pounds on up. And again, because we are running these motors at a slower speed than max RPM, torque means everything, horsepower means nothing, and you've got to calculate it to know for sure. I hope this helps. I hope this shows you how you can still calculate torque when the RPM numbers are not listed on the motor. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put them down in the comments, and I would love to answer those for you.
If you like what you've seen, please click like. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.